The dinner was warm, the bill was not. One person hears a group plan, another hears an invitation. When the check arrives, nobody is cheating anyone. But two different agreements have already formed. This is how some adult conflicts begin. One ordinary act, entered into two different ledgers. A gift may mean care to the giver and obligation to the receiver. Advice may mean support or shared responsibility. Buying from a friend may mean loyalty until something breaks. The visible event is the same. The relationship meaning is not. Researchers have proposed several ways people organize relationships through shared need, rank, equal turns, or proportional exchange. These are culturally shaped frameworks, not personality boxes, but they reveal a useful problem. Two people can enter the same moment using different rules. Here is an editorial way to inspect that mismatch, not a universal social taxonomy. Look for 4 entries: value, meaning, obligation, and risk. Value asks what changed hands. Meaning asks what the act communicated. Obligation asks what response feels expected. Risk asks what becomes costly if interpretations diverge. Price does not measure all care. Inferred meaning is not proof of intent. Gratitude is not automatically debt. Notice when an unspoken expectation starts behaving like a contract. Imagine someone recovering at home. You could send flowers, groceries, money, or practical help. A rigid rule names one correct gift. A better question is, what would be useful? In 5 gift exchange studies, recipients were more appreciative of gifts they had explicitly requested than givers expected. In the final study, recipients also appreciated money more than givers predicted. That does not make cash universal. Money may be inappropriate because of culture, policy, power, benefits, or the relationship. A symbolic object may matter too. So replace the guessing contest with an invitation. Would money, a specific item, a meal, or practical help be most useful? A question cannot guarantee a perfect gift. It can stop the giver's idea of care from outranking the receiver's experience. Return to the restaurant. One person uses a communal frame. I gathered people, so I will host. Another uses equal matching. 4 adults share dinner, so 4 adults share the bill. Neither frame proves generosity or selfishness. The trouble is that the check arrives after everyone has already spent the money. One sentence moves the agreement forward in time. I'd love to make this my treat. Or, should we split this before we choose the place? Not every cup of coffee needs a negotiation, but when price, status, or repeated expectations matter, a little clarity can be kinder than a silent test. Folk advice says, buy expensive things from strangers and cheap things from people you know. One promises accountability, the other, social credit. Both are too clean. Economic sociology argues that economic action remains embedded in social relationships. In plain language, a purchase from a friend is still a purchase, and it is also still inside a friendship. A stranger does not guarantee recourse. A friend does not make written terms insulting. When stakes are real, define price, scope, timeline, warranty, and exit. I'm buying as a customer, so let's use your standard terms. Written terms do not guarantee a remedy, and high-stakes transactions may need professional advice. But a shared record asks less of memory and loyalty. Now imagine a friend asking, should I take the job? A cynical rule says they do not want advice. They want someone to blame later. Research supports a narrower story. In laboratory judgment tasks, advice sometimes improved accuracy. A large meta-analysis found greater adjustment when advisors appeared more credible. Those numerical tasks are not career, relationship, or treatment choices. Other experiments found several reasons for taking advice: accepting help, improving judgment, and sometimes sharing responsibility. Shared responsibility is not a scapegoat, and it does not erase agency. Advice is culturally embedded. Recent US, Chinese, and Indian studies found different styles and preferences. Group patterns do not predict an individual, but they weaken universal rules. Before answering, ask, do you want me to listen, help compare options, or give you my recommendation? If they want a recommendation, name what you know, what you do not, and which consequence they, not you, will carry. That is support with agency intact. A small favor can open 2 ledgers. In one laboratory experiment, an unsolicited soft drink increased compliance with a later raffle ticket request. That does not make every favor manipulation. Reciprocity pressure can appear without an agreement. Recent research models indebtedness as guilt about burdening someone and obligation to repay, shaped partly by how recipients interpret the giver's intent. An interpretation is not a motive detector. The receiver can be wrong about the giver. The giver can be wrong about how free the favor feels. Culture and closeness matter. Across 5 experiments, Asian and North American participants differed over a small gift from an acquaintance, while closeness changed the pattern. No continent has one personality. Objects carry different social weight. If you genuinely mean no repayment, say so, and make your later behavior match. Do not call something a gift while quietly expecting access, loyalty, publicity, or a future yes. The 4 entries are not a scorecard. They are a pause before the stakes grow. What changed hands? What did I think it meant? What response do I expect? What becomes difficult if the other person read it differently? Then name the frame that matters: gift or loan, my treat or split, friend or customer, listening, options, or recommendation. These prompts cannot prevent resentment or bad faith. Some customs live in shared history, and directness must never become pressure after someone says no. But when value, obligation, or risk is high, clarity changes what both people are able to know. Kindness is not a contract, yet unspoken expectations can behave like one. The cleanest adult relationship is not the one with no ledger. It is the one where neither person has to discover the terms only after the bill arrives.